I was gonna say, on this glorious day, every day is a glorious day. The sun is out, but can't feel no heat at the moment. So yeah, it is what it is. But nevertheless, I hope you're all good. And yeah, I hope you have a good day, whatever you have planned. I wanted to talk about breath. I've got a video on breath, breathing, mindful breathing already, but I wanted to touch on it again, and just how important mindful breathing is, and yeah, how much it's changed my, I'd say, yeah, it's changed my life actually, being a lot more mindful breathing and being more observant around around me, and yeah, just how people breathe and how breath actually controls your whole reality. And I can give you a few examples. One being, if you're someone that's easily triggered or gets angry, you know, maybe constantly arguing, or if you're an observer of people that are arguing, then one thing you'll probably be able to identify is their breath. And when people are normally angry or, you know, furious, they start to breathe a lot faster. And that's why you hear people say, just breathe to calm the person down. But what's even funnier is, subconsciously, we all know that breathing and the way you breathe is important, because it's our natural response to when you see someone angry, or, you know, maybe they got having a panic attack, you know, you tell them to breathe. And although you may not know what type of breathing to, what type of breathing pattern to use or utilize, you always suggest for them to, you know, breathe, take a deep breath, you know, all these sort of things. And if you're in a calmer state, if you're calm, if you observe your breath, it's a lot more, it might be a lot more shallower and lighter and calmer. So breath is important, but breath is extremely important. And if you can apply mindful breathing in your day-to-day, you'll see that your day becomes a lot more smoother. It brings you back to being present. You know, this is used in meditation, you know, to observe the breath. And to observe the breath means you're in a present state. And I've read a book called, well, I say I've read a book, I haven't finished it yet, because it almost feels like a journey book. A journey book in a sense of, I can't read the whole thing. I can read the whole thing, but I feel like it's taking me on a journey. And I feel like I've been reading this book for about 3 or 4 years. And it's not a big book or anything, but I found that as I go along on my journey, I may stop at a particular point because I just feel to stop. And then it actually takes me on the journey of the next stage. So it's been a good book, and the book is called The Tao of Health, Sex and Longevity, and it touches on a whole wide range of topics, and one being breathing, Grand Rising from Russia. Thank you for joining. I'm very well. But yeah, one thing in the book it talks about is breathing and the proper way to breathe. So, you know, if you observe, many people breathe through their mouth. They're mouth breathers, and I didn't know this until recent times, but actually being a mouth breather actually changes the whole shape of your face, which I didn't really know about before. So, you know, and when you're asleep, you might be a mouth breather. If you're a snorer, you're a mouth breather. But I think I used to be a mouth breather, but I've managed to change the way I breathe by conscious breathing, mindful breathing, and now it's become a subconscious thing where it's a natural thing. So I feel like I'm always in a meditative state due to the way I breathe. So the proper and the correct way to breathe would be through the nose and out through the nose. I know many people may breathe through the nose and out through the mouth, but I've found that what works for me, and it's extremely beneficial, is through the nose, out through the nose, and keeping my tongue on the roof of my mouth, and that is known to complete the circuit. We are electrical beings, and being an electrical being, we know that to have a circuit, a full circuit, everything has to be closed for it to be able to run. And by you not only closing your mouth but keeping your tongue at the roof of your mouth, it completes the circuit. So maybe try it. Maybe try to breathe, to maybe do a lot more mindful breathing. So if you're someone that, you know, maybe you are a mouth breather, then you can start to incorporate breathing through the nose and out through the mouth, taking a nice deep breath in, filling the lungs, and maybe holding. What I do is I like to retain the breath, so I hold the breath and then I'll exhale. I'll exhale with a long, slow exhale. So yeah, that's just a tip for you to use. And then obviously when you've mastered the art of, and you realize that now you're a complete nose breather, like in through the nose and out through the mouth, then you can start to incorporate in through the nose and out through the nose. But the next step after breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth would be to then start to incorporate, actually I would say probably having your tongue at the roof of your mouth would probably be the last step, because you might find it uncomfortable at first or weird at first, but now my tongue naturally just sits on the roof, and I think that's probably just because I've been practicing that for quite a long time now, and it's just a natural thing for me. But yeah, I'm a slow breather. I think I counted how many breaths I've taken a minute, and I range from around 1 to about 5 breaths a minute, because they're very slow, deep, and mindful, and I just feel like I'm in a constant relaxed state of being. So if you're someone that struggles even to, you know, you like the idea of meditating, you know, for me, walking, but mindful breathing is a meditation, you know, that quiet time, that quiet space, you know, to completely quiet the mind. You know, some people think that you have to have a completely quiet mind, not think about anything when you meditate, but you have to start somewhere, and you'll realize that over time you don't hold on to as much, so then you become a lot lighter, a lot more self-aware, and a lot more accountable for your whole life. So breath actually can change your whole reality. The way you breathe can change your whole reality. Be observant, observe your breath. When you're in a uncomfortable position, uncomfortable states, uncomfortable surroundings, you can always come back to the breath. if you're someone that struggles and suffers with anxiety, depression, when you feel like these things are about to flare up, then you can come back to the breath. Take a nice deep few breaths in, hold in and out. So you could even start off by breathing in for 1 second, holding for 1 second, and exhaling for 1 second, and then you can climb the ladder. So then you can inhale in for 2 seconds, hold for 2 seconds, exhale out for 2 seconds. You can play around with it. I like to take a nice shorter deep breath in, retain the breath for about up to about 10 seconds or more, and then my exhale will be relatively long as well. But I find that my retaining of the breath is held for much longer than the inhale and the exhale, and that's just what works for me. So yeah, I hope those tips helped you. But yeah, take advantage of those mornings when there's no cars on the road, where the air is a lot more cleaner. You know, going into nature could do you a world of good. You'll come out feeling definitely refreshed, revitalized, because you're filling your whole system with life, prana, oxygen. And I hold breath and stretch sessions for work, and this is what I do. So I do a lot of stretching, but I incorporate a lot of breath work as well. I don't like to call it breath work, I just like to call it breath, breathing, whatever it is. Well, what it is, but it's something that we all do. So you can live for a period of time without you know, food. You can live for a period of time without water, but the one thing you can't live without is breath. You know, there are breatharians in this world, believe it or not, where people live on nothing but prana, this life force energy. There are many people that fast. I do a lot of fasting. I do a lot of dry fasting. Dry fasting being superior, being the highest, the pinnacle of fasting, where you're abstaining from food and liquids. And then you can go down the ladder, but you can go up the ladder. So we're all starting, we're all at different places. So you know, you do what works for you, but there is a pyramid that you can climb. So if you're on a standard diet, you might move to more of a raw foods, being fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. Climbing up from there would be mono fruits. So you just have one type of fruit. Maybe it will be grapes for a period of time. Climbing up the ladder from there, you would have juicing. So you can do fruit juicing or vegetable juices, but my thing is more of a fruit juicer, because your fruits are the cleansers and your vegetables are the rebuilders. So you want to cleanse first and then rebuild afterwards. Then moving up from there, you would have water fasting, you know, where you just have water, you drink water. And then climbing up from there would be dry fasting. So the higher you climb, the better it is. But there's a time and a place, which I've also mentioned many times, that I wouldn't recommend anyone jumping straight into a dry fast if you haven't done these other levels or any other sort of cleansing or detox. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, breath is everything, and it's probably one of the biggest things that is overlooked, and one of the things that are overlooked but can drastically change your whole reality, way of being, existing, communicating, your relationships, because you're in a calmer, more relaxed state. There's not any particular book I could recommend about breathing, because the only book that I've read that I've taken on board about breathing is the Tao of health, sex, and longevity. This book, I think I've added this book into my one of the links in the bio of my Instagram account. So if you're interested, maybe check that out first, and if you can't find it, then maybe ask me and then I can share the link with you. And yes, I've also mentioned that a lot of the videos that I was doing were live recorded on Instagram, and now I'm exclusively only doing my videos on YouTube, and I'll probably share the videos on YouTube onto Rumble as well. So yeah, if you're an Instagram follower and you've caught this video, then I'm just letting you know that all my videos now will be here, exclusively here only, and Instagram will just be used for posting my creations, you know, me out and about. I like to create videos, but yeah, this is where my lives will be from now on, moving forward. So this will be the 4th one I have for the week, and it's just on here, so I'm not on Instagram no more. And that is, yeah, I think it's just better for me to do them here. So yeah, leave a comment below, like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in all things health and well-being. If you're interested in the raw living lifestyle of raw foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, I can show you how you can create some really amazing gourmet foods. I do a lot of fermenting, I do a lot of foraging, I speak a lot about detoxification, cleansing, herbs. I make my own tinctures, capsules. I create foods using my dehydrator. I do a lot of things. So if any of these things that I've mentioned is of interest to you, then I would highly recommend you following. You can also check out my Instagram account where I share a lot of visual foods and yeah, a lot of creating on there, tips and yeah, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I think that's about it. Got nothing to say, but yeah, this video has been predominantly about breathing and how breathing can change your life, so you can become more of a mindful observer and yeah, be accountable for your life with breath. And I think I'll leave it here. Thank you for joining, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.